Thank you so much. It was so beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for your hearts and for your giving and for being vulnerable. And just thank you for sharing your loved ones with all of us. Yeah. Oh, so let's just take a deep breath together. I definitely need one. Yeah. That's the breath of life. And what I know is it never ends. It might end in this body, but it goes with us wherever we go. And I trust that. So I'm not really here to talk about death today. And I have this thing that Ernest Holmes wrote that really, for me, just goes along with the trust that I feel. That he says, judging the future by the past, we can believe that when we enter the larger life, there will be loving hands to greet us and loving friends to care for us until we become accustomed to our new surroundings. Nature provides for herself there as well as here. And I truly believe that I know for myself that I've always been taken care of in my life, even when I thought that I wasn't being taken care of, because I didn't know any better to understand that I was always being taken care of. But when I look back, I go, oh my God, you were so taken care of. And so why would that end when we die? It would not. When we leave this body, why would it end? It would just continue to go on, because God's source is love. And love cares. That's what it does. It's a caring source. So I know that as truth. I remember when my mother was in her last month or so of being here, she was so worried that she wasn't going to have enough money to survive if she lived longer and all of that. I know a lot of elderly people might feel that way sometimes. And I would say to her mom, because she was Catholic and she believed obviously in Heavenly Father, and I said, God has taken care of you your whole life. He's not going to drop you now, and never, ever, ever. And so I truly believe that, and I truly, truly know that that's the truth. And so we titled today is Until We Meet Again and Aloha. And we always say, life goes on. Like sometimes when we lose somebody, we just have to go on with our life, right? And we have to do the things we have to do. And sometimes we don't want to go on, and we want to just wait and stay in that waiting period, and that's okay too. But life does go on. And what I know is life goes on for those who have left us too. Life goes on. It just goes on. And in our teaching, we believe it's like ever expanding, so that in each stage of our evolution, we're always expanding, we're always growing. So if we don't finish something in this life or think that we didn't finish it, it doesn't really matter, because we just keep going. And there's something that Dr. Holmes says too, that let's see if I wrote it. Well, I'll paraphrase it. It's that life will only leave us here long enough till we've lived what we're supposed to live. But there comes a time when we have to grow into another experience, because if we were left here, we might become too stagnant or too stuck in our ways. And sometimes I think we can, if we look at people that have passed in our own life, we can see that some might have been ready to go and they were gone, and that was it, and then we understood that. Or maybe there was somebody that we feel wasn't finished or something. And like I said, sometimes that finishing has to happen on the other side. And I know that's true for many people in my life that I've lost, and I've lost a lot. So, but I want to talk about something else, because we watched a film the other night that was so perfect to watch, and it was for this time of remembering, and it was called Soul. I don't know how many of us were here for it, but many of us have seen it. It's an animated Pixar film, although when you're done watching it, you don't really feel that it was even animated, because the characters become so real to you. So if you haven't had the chance to watch it, please do. It's very deep, and I can see it came out in 2020, which makes so much sense, because it's all about the afterlife, and it's all about going within. And And that was the time that we were doing that. So even though probably they didn't know when they were making the film that we were going to be experiencing a pandemic, that's what the mind of God does, the one mind. It knows when everything's supposed to show up and is planning everything and everything's in the present moment, everything, right? So that showed up. But one of the things I got out of the film was this idea of the zone. Yeah, and this zone, which is a place where we feel totally complete. We feel like, sometimes it could be in the case of this man, he was a musician, and when he was playing, he was in the zone. For some of us, it could be when we're out running, and we get in that place, and we just know we're in the zone, and we feel it, and then we hunger for it the next time. Or for me, at one time, it was acting. When I was acting in some part that just totally consumed me, I was in the zone, and I forgot everything else. Or when I'm writing, that's the zone. But what they said in the film, which is like so great, is that the zone is enjoyable, but when the joy becomes an obsession, one becomes disconnected from life. Now understand this, because in this film, the person was, and I don't know if you can identify with it, but I can, that in this film, he was spending his life for that moment when he would have that moment when he could be what he thought he was supposed to be in this life. And in that moment, he would be in the zone, and he wasn't noticing life. So when she says it's going to become an obsession, what she's saying is, if we're so hungering for something we're supposed to think we're supposed to be doing to fulfill ourselves, we miss the zone that is living. If that makes sense, we miss the zone that is living. And that's where I'm with right now in my development, because there's a lot we want to do at the center, and we want to grow it, and I have to keep reminding myself not to miss the moments. Not to miss the moments that are the zone, the time when you just take a deep breath and you look at a flower, or you look at the ocean, or you feel a conversation that you're having with somebody, or you're with your grandchild or your child or your lover or whoever, and you're in the zone. And sometimes because of the obsession we have with trying to be more, we think we're supposed to be more, and we're following it so much that we lose those moments. So I know for the people that have gone before us, I think the way of honoring them is to live in that place, to live life fully. We honor them by living this life fully, as they're living wherever they are now fully, and realizing that the zone is right here. It's right here. We don't need to go searching for it. We don't need to do that fantastic thing that we're going to do. I mean, it's great to do fantastic things, and we all do them, but it's not who we are. We're so much more than that. We're so much more. And the experience of life and breathing through life and allowing life is what this time of being here on this earth is. I believe that. And I'm just going to close because we decided we'd make our talks a little shorter today. But I want to close with this quote by Ernest Holmes. It kind of capsulizes this idea of living life. Well, first of all, there was a mystic named Thomas Troward who said that our only purpose was to be happy. So if we follow our happiness, not our struggles, our happiness, that's our purpose in life, to be happy. And that's so simple, right? And then, Master Jesus said, man is that he might have joy. So it's the same message. We're here to be joyful. And Ernest Holmes wrote, we do not exist for the purpose of making an impression upon our environment. We do exist to express ourselves in and through our environment. He says there's a great difference. We're not here to try to make an impression. We're here to express our fullness. We do not exist to leave a lasting impression upon our environment. Not at all, he says. It's not necessary that we leave an impression. He's saying it over and over. It is not necessary if we should pass on tonight that anyone should even remember that we have lived. Now that's pretty, you could take that one in. All that means anything is that while we live, and he wrote it in capital, that we live. And wherever we go from here, we shall keep on living. And for me, I don't know about you, but that takes a lot of pressure off me. To know that all I have to do is live and enjoy every moment that I'm living. Every moment. So that's my what I wanted to just say today. And I bless us all, and I know that we miss those that are not here. We miss them so much. And yet I know they're right here, and I can feel them. I know that whenever my mom wants me to know something, I just feel her. I feel her, and somebody will say something to me or whatever. I'll just remember something she said. So they're here. They're right here. And I know that, and I trust that. And I love all of you, and I know that we're here on purpose, all of us, in this divine right moment right now. And we're not supposed to be anything else, anywhere else. We're not supposed to be doing anything else. We're supposed to be right here, just enjoying this moment. So I love you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.